Imagine this. Beneath the clear blue waves, in the quiet depths of our oceans, a silent revolution is taking place. While many think of the ocean as a vast, empty space filled with mystery, it's actually teeming with life, most of which we don't see. But what if I told you that something as simple as seaweed is at the heart of keeping this whole ecosystem thriving? Sounds too good to be true, right? Seaweed might seem like just a harmless green plant that clings to rocks, but its role in marine ecosystems is more critical than you can imagine. In fact, without seaweed, marine life as we know it could collapse. So, why haven't we been paying attention to it? Seaweed is often underestimated, relegated to beachside snacks, or overlooked as just another part of the marine landscape. But the reality is far more extraordinary. What if I told you that seaweed provides some of the most essential services for our oceans? Would you believe that these underwater plants are capable of cleaning the ocean, supporting wildlife, and even helping fight climate change? Seaweed is much more than just a plant. It's an ecosystem engineer. As you dive deeper into this, you'll discover the incredible benefits seaweed offers, not only to marine life, but to all of us. Let's take a moment to explore just how these unassuming plants are shaping the future of our oceans. You might just be amazed at how crucial seaweed is to the survival of marine ecosystems. But before you dismiss it as just a green blur in the ocean, think about this. Seaweed covers more than 30 million square kilometers of the world's oceans. That's a vast area, larger than the entire continent of Africa. These underwater forests are hiding in plain sight, and yet we often overlook their immense value. Seaweed plays an undeniable role in stabilizing marine ecosystems. In many ways, it's the invisible hand that keeps the ocean balanced. It provides shelter for countless marine species, including fish, crabs, and snails. These creatures rely on seaweed for protection from predators and as a breeding ground. Without seaweed, many of these animals would be left without homes, and the food chain would collapse. But it's not just about shelter and food. Seaweed has a unique ability to capture carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. In fact, seaweed absorbs CO2 at a much higher rate than trees or terrestrial plants. This ability to sequester carbon makes seaweed one of the ocean's most powerful allies in combating climate change. It's no exaggeration to say that seaweed is a natural climate warrior. And yet, its importance often goes unnoticed. You may be wondering, why isn't seaweed getting the recognition it deserves? One reason is that we tend to focus on the more visible and immediate aspects of marine life, like coral reefs or fish populations. But the reality is, seaweed is just as, if not more, important than these other elements. It's the unsung hero that ensures the survival of everything else beneath the waves. Imagine a world where seaweed no longer thrived in our oceans. The ripple effect would be catastrophic. Marine life would struggle to survive. Climate change would accelerate, and ocean ecosystems would be left in ruins. This might sound dramatic, but the truth is that seaweed is a cornerstone of marine health. Without it, our oceans would be unable to support the vast diversity of life they currently do. So, the next time you think about the ocean, consider this. Seaweed is not just a plant. It's the backbone of marine ecosystems. It's providing food, shelter, and even helping to combat climate change. Yet, how often do we stop to think about how integral it is to our planet's survival? Maybe it's time we start giving seaweed the credit it deserves. Perhaps it's also time to ask, what happens if seaweed disappears? How will that affect not just the oceans, but us as humans? The truth is, we are deeply connected to the health of our oceans. And seaweed plays a much larger role in that connection than we realize. Our actions, both positive and negative, are impacting the survival of these vital plants. So, why is it that we aren't doing more to protect it? The first step is acknowledging seaweed's true value. From cleaning the ocean to supporting marine life, seaweed is critical to the health of our planet. And if we fail to protect it, we could be setting the stage for a devastating chain reaction. The time to act is now. Stay with me, because as we dive deeper, you'll understand why seaweed isn't just a part of the ocean, it is the ocean. Now that we've established how crucial seaweed is to the health of the ocean, let's dive into exactly why it's so important. Seaweed plays a critical role in sustaining marine biodiversity, acting as the cornerstone of many underwater ecosystems. Picture an underwater forest, kelp forests, to be specific, that stretch for miles, swaying with the current. These dense kelp forests are more than just stunning to look at. They are vital for life below the surface. The dense canopy of kelp provides shelter to a multitude of marine species. From tiny invertebrates to larger fish, many creatures seek refuge within these underwater forests. It's a safe haven where fish can hide from predators and where juvenile fish can grow and mature. In fact, around 500 species of fish call kelp forests home. These plants are the bedrock of their survival, offering both safety and a rich source of food. And it's not just fish that benefit. Crabs, sea urchins, and various mollusks find their refuge and food within seaweed beds. Even sea otters, one of the most iconic creatures of the ocean, rely on kelp forests to thrive. In some regions, sea otters actually help maintain the balance of kelp forests by eating sea urchins, which can devastate kelp populations. Seaweed's contribution doesn't stop at providing shelter. It also plays a significant role in food production. Seaweed itself serves as a primary food source for many marine animals. Herbivorous fish and invertebrates feed on seaweed, turning these plants into a rich source of nutrition. Seaweed is at the base of the food web, sustaining an entire chain of life that relies on it for survival. In some ecosystems, certain species of fish and seaweed even form symbiotic relationships. For example, fish like the parrotfish graze on seaweed, keeping it healthy and in check, while the fish benefit from the nutrients provided by the algae. But seaweed doesn't just feed fish, it helps feed the entire ocean's ecosystem, including marine mammals and seabirds. This intricate web of life would be severely disrupted without seaweed. Without it, the primary food source for countless marine species would vanish, causing a cascading effect throughout the ecosystem. But what happens when seaweed is damaged or destroyed? Coastal development, pollution, and overfishing have all contributed to the decline of seaweed habitats. When seaweed is removed or degraded, the animals that depend on it for shelter and food are left vulnerable. In many areas, entire populations of marine creatures have been displaced due to the loss of seaweed habitats. The result: diminished biodiversity, fewer fish stocks, and the collapse of ecosystems. Without seaweed, the entire structure of the marine environment would be weakened. It's not just the physical presence of seaweed that matters. It's its ability to provide vital ecosystem services. One of the most crucial services seaweed provides is oxygen production. Just like trees on land, seaweed generates oxygen through photosynthesis, ensuring that marine creatures can breathe. In fact, it's estimated that seaweed provides over 50% of the oxygen we breathe. That means every time you take a breath, you're indirectly relying on seaweed's oxygen production. This oxygen production is especially important in areas with limited oxygen levels, such as deep-sea regions or areas impacted by pollution. Seaweed's ability to photosynthesize ensures that marine environments remain oxygenated and habitable. And beyond oxygen production, seaweed plays an integral role in regulating the carbon cycle. Seaweed is a carbon sink, meaning it absorbs excess carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and locks it away. This process helps mitigate the effects of climate change, as it reduces the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. Seaweed absorbs carbon through photosynthesis, storing it in its tissues. When seaweed decomposes, the carbon it has absorbed is sequestered in the ocean for long periods, helping to reduce the global carbon footprint. What's even more amazing is that seaweed grows incredibly fast. Some species can grow up to 2 feet per day. This rapid growth means that seaweed can capture more carbon than slower-growing plants, making it an invaluable tool in the fight against climate change. As ocean temperatures rise and terrestrial plants struggle to adapt, seaweed offers an important alternative for capturing carbon. In fact, seaweed's carbon sequestering abilities are now being studied for their potential to create large-scale solutions to reduce atmospheric CO2. The ability of seaweed to absorb carbon dioxide could play a major role in reversing some of the effects of global warming. But let's take it a step further. Seaweed can also help in restoring damaged ecosystems. Scientists are now exploring how seaweed restoration could help restore degraded coral reefs and seagrass meadows. By planting seaweed in damaged areas, we could help revive marine habitats. Now that you understand how seaweed sustains marine life, let's explore a twist that might surprise you. Seaweed is not just important for biodiversity, oxygen production, and carbon capture. It's also a critical tool for cleaning the ocean. That's right, seaweed acts as a natural purifier, absorbing excess nutrients and pollutants from the water. But how does it do this? Seaweed has an incredible ability to absorb excess nitrogen, phosphorus, and other pollutants that typically come from agricultural runoff or sewage. These nutrients can cause algae blooms, dead zones, and toxic environments if left unchecked. In fact, nutrient pollution is one of the biggest threats to marine ecosystems. Seaweed helps prevent this by pulling these harmful nutrients out of the water before they can do any damage. Think of seaweed as the ocean's filter system, helping to maintain a balanced environment. This process is known as nutrient cycling, and it's a vital part of how seaweed contributes to the health of our oceans. Without seaweed, the excess nutrients in the water would cause dangerous imbalances, leading to oxygen depletion and the destruction of marine habitats. Seaweed doesn't just filter the water, it actively helps maintain the pH balance of the ocean as well. With rising CO2 levels in the atmosphere, the oceans are becoming more acidic. This acidification can harm many marine species, especially corals and shellfish, which rely on stable pH levels to build their shells. Seaweed plays a crucial role in buffering the effects of ocean acidification. By absorbing excess carbon dioxide, seaweed helps reduce the acidity in the water, making it more hospitable for marine life. In this way, seaweed is not just a survivor of changing ocean conditions, it's also a defender of marine life. This may come as a surprise, but seaweed's ability to absorb and regulate CO2 could be one of the most powerful tools in mitigating climate change. In fact, recent studies have shown that seaweed could be more effective at combating ocean acidification than some land-based plants. As global temperatures rise and ocean acidification accelerates, the role of seaweed in maintaining marine ecosystems will only become more critical. But what happens if we lose seaweed? The consequences are more severe than you might think. Without seaweed, ocean acidification would increase, causing the collapse of coral reef shellfish populations and the entire marine food web. This isn't just bad news for the ocean, it's bad news for all of us. The health of the ocean directly affects our food supply, economy, and climate stability. If seaweed were to disappear, we'd lose one of our most powerful allies in the fight against climate change. But wait, there's more. Seaweed isn't just filtering and cleaning the water, it's also creating a habitat that supports a vast array of marine life. These underwater forests provide a safe haven for endangered species, including sea turtles and juvenile fish. Some species, like the endangered green sea turtle, rely on seaweed as a primary food source, particularly in their early life stages. If we lose seaweed, we lose critical habitats for these at-risk species, pushing them closer to extinction. But it doesn't stop with marine life. Seaweed also provides essential ecosystem services to coastal communities. In some parts of the world, seaweed farming is an important industry that supports local economies. Seaweed is used in food products, pharmaceuticals, and even cosmetics, making it a versatile and valuable resource. It's not just for marine life. It's an important part of our human economies, too. Imagine what would happen if we lost access to this sustainable resource. The loss of seaweed habitats would not only devastate marine biodiversity, but also the livelihoods of millions of people who depend on it for their income. And here's the kicker. Seaweed is also being explored as a potential source of biofuel. That's right. Seaweed could help power our world in the future. By converting seaweed into biofuel, we could reduce our dependence on fossil fuels, leading to a cleaner, more sustainable energy future. Seaweed's potential as a renewable energy source is just one more reason why it's so important to protect these ecosystems. The possibilities are endless. Seaweed could help us fight climate change, provide new energy solutions, and restore damaged ecosystems. But all of this is at risk if we don't act now. Climate change, pollution, and human activity are threatening seaweed habitats worldwide. Rising ocean temperatures, ocean acidification, and overfishing are causing seaweed populations to decline. In some areas, entire kelp forests have disappeared, leaving marine life without shelter and food. And yet, despite all these threats, seaweed remains one of the most resilient plants on Earth. Seaweed can regenerate quickly, and with the right conservation efforts, we can restore these ecosystems. Now that we've explored how critical seaweed is to marine ecosystems, it's time to ask ourselves an important question. What can we do to protect it? The reality is that seaweed habitats are under constant threat, and without immediate action, these vital underwater forests could vanish. Human activity like pollution, overfishing, and coastal development is causing massive damage to seaweed ecosystems around the world. If we don't take action now, the benefits of seaweed could be lost forever, leaving us with a degraded ocean and a fragile environment. So, what can we do to protect seaweed and the life that depends on it? The first step is simple. We need to reduce pollution. Excessive nutrient runoff from agriculture and sewage is one of the leading causes of seaweed habitat destruction. By cutting down on the use of fertilizers, reducing industrial waste, and better managing sewage systems, we can significantly reduce the damage done to seaweed forests. Another critical step is to protect coastal areas from overdevelopment. Coastal development often leads to habitat loss, and with it, the destruction of vital seaweed ecosystems. We need stronger regulations to protect the areas where seaweed thrives, such as kelp forests, seagrass meadows, and coral reefs. Creating marine protected areas where seaweed can grow freely without human interference is one of the most effective ways to safeguard these habitats. But protection doesn't stop with legislation. We also need to take action at a grassroots level. Supporting local conservation organizations and beach cleanups is a great way to get involved and make a difference. By actively working to protect seaweed, we can create a ripple effect that leads to larger global change. Seaweed restoration efforts are already taking place in some regions, and the results are promising. In places like the United Kingdom and the United States, marine scientists are planting new seaweed in areas where habitats have been damaged. These restoration projects are helping to revive ecosystems, improve water quality, and restore biodiversity. But these efforts need more funding and support to be successful on a global scale. Governments, NGOs, and individuals must come together to prioritize seaweed restoration and conservation. One of the most effective ways to protect seaweed is by reducing our carbon footprint. As seaweed absorbs CO2, it helps combat climate change. But if we continue to emit large amounts of CO2, the very ecosystems that seaweed relies on could be destroyed. By reducing our carbon emissions, we can create a healthier environment for seaweed to thrive in. Supporting renewable energy sources and reducing our reliance on fossil fuels can help mitigate the effects of climate change on seaweed habitats. Another essential step is to advocate for sustainable fishing practices. Overfishing and destructive fishing techniques not only harm marine life, but also damage seaweed ecosystems. Sustainable fishing practices such as limiting catch sizes and using eco-friendly fishing gear can help protect both marine life and seaweed habitats. If we want to ensure that future generations can enjoy the benefits of seaweed, we need to make it a priority in conservation efforts. In addition to government and community action, education plays a key role in protecting seaweed. Many people are still unaware of the importance of seaweed to the ocean's health and our own survival. By spreading awareness and educating others about seaweed's vital role, we can inspire a global movement for its protection. Teachers, scientists, and environmentalists can work together to raise awareness about seaweed and encourage sustainable practices. Social media also has a powerful role in spreading awareness. Platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok allow individuals to share information, photos, and videos about seaweed conservation with millions of people. The more we know, the better equipped we are to take action and protect seaweed for future generations. Supporting seaweed-based solutions is another step we can take. Seaweed isn't just important for the ocean, it also offers sustainable alternatives to many products we rely on every day. From food and medicine to biodegradable plastics and biofuels, seaweed has the potential to revolutionize the way we use natural resources. By investing in seaweed-based technologies, we can create a more sustainable future for our planet. Individuals can also make a difference by supporting businesses that use sustainable seaweed products. Whether it's using seaweed-based cosmetics, eating seaweed in food, or purchasing biodegradable packaging, every choice matters. The power of consumer demand can drive change in industries, pushing companies to adopt more sustainable practices. Lastly, supporting policies that prioritize ocean health and the protection of marine ecosystems is crucial. Voting for leaders, please. As we reach the conclusion, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've learned. Seaweed isn't just another plant drifting aimlessly in the ocean. It's the backbone of marine ecosystems. From providing food and shelter to countless species to cleaning the ocean and combating climate change, seaweed is indispensable. Its role in sustaining life beneath the waves cannot be overstated. Seaweed's ability to filter pollutants, sequester carbon, and maintain the delicate balance of ocean chemistry is truly remarkable. Yet despite its importance, seaweed is under constant threat from human activities. Coastal development, pollution, overfishing, and climate change are all contributing to the destruction of seaweed habitats. If we lose seaweed, the consequences will ripple throughout the ocean's ecosystems. The loss of these vital underwater forests would lead to the collapse of marine food webs, a decrease in biodiversity, and a further escalation of climate change. But it doesn't have to be this way. We have the power to protect seaweed and ensure its continued survival. By reducing pollution, supporting sustainable practices, and investing in conservation efforts, we can safeguard the future of seaweed and the entire marine ecosystem. Every action we take to protect seaweed is an investment in the health of our oceans and our planet. It starts with small changes, reducing plastic waste, supporting eco-friendly businesses, and advocating for stronger environmental protections. But it also requires big-picture thinking, supporting policies that protect marine environments, investing in research, and raising awareness about seaweed's importance. The fight to protect seaweed is not just a battle for marine life. It's a battle for the future of our planet. The ocean is a powerful force that sustains life on Earth, and seaweed is at the heart of that power. Without seaweed, our oceans would be much less resilient, and life on Earth would be in jeopardy. But by protecting seaweed, we can help ensure that the ocean continues to thrive, providing the resources and ecosystems we all depend on. It's not too late to make a difference. The solutions are within reach. Whether it's supporting sustainable practices, protecting seaweed habitats, or getting involved in local conservation efforts, we all have a role to play. The time to act is now. If we wait too long, the damage will be irreversible, and we'll lose not only seaweed, but entire ecosystems that rely on it. But if we act now, we can reverse the damage and restore balance to our oceans. Seaweed is a powerful tool in our fight against climate change, ocean degradation, and loss of biodiversity. And it's up to us to ensure that this valuable resource is protected and preserved for future generations. So, the next time you think about the ocean, remember this. Seaweed is its lifeblood. It may seem small or insignificant at first glance, but its impact on the health of our planet is immeasurable. By safeguarding seaweed, we're not just protecting the ocean, we're securing a healthier future for all of us. From the air we breathe to the food we eat, the ocean plays a vital role in our lives, and seaweed is the key to maintaining that connection. Protecting seaweed means protecting the very foundation of life on Earth. If we care about the future of our planet, we must care about the future of seaweed. It's time to take action and start making a difference. Together, we can protect our oceans, safeguard biodiversity, and help combat climate change, one seaweed at a time. The ocean is calling, and seaweed is its voice. Will you answer the call? Every small action counts in the fight to protect the ocean, and every person who gets involved brings us one step closer to a thriving, sustainable future. Imagine a future where seaweed thrives in every ocean, supporting marine life and helping restore balance to our planet. That future is possible, but only if we act now. Seaweed is the solution we've been looking for, and we can't afford to let it slip away. The time for action is now, before it's too late. Together, we can protect seaweed and ensure that the ocean remains healthy, vibrant, and full of life. Let's take a stand for the ocean, for marine life, and for future generations. Seaweed may be a small part of the ocean, but its impact is immeasurable. By protecting seaweed, we're protecting the future of life on Earth. Let's work together to safeguard this incredible resource and secure a sustainable future for all. The future of the ocean and of our planet depends on it. It's time to make sure that seaweed remains a thriving part of the ocean's ecosystem. So, let's act now, before it's too late. The ocean needs us, and we need the ocean. Together, we can protect seaweed and secure the health of our planet for generations to come. So, what are you waiting for? Let's start today and make a real difference for the future.